Welcome back to the couch, best place to chill with your friends, get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name is Dylan Blight, and join me on the couch this week. Actually, hopefully.
Hey, Dylan, excited to be here with you, back on the couch.
Yeah, that's right. Kieran's here when I'm not here. Kieran's gone now. It's fine. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Drop.
There's only so much room on the couch.
Yeah. Drop kick that motherfucker. Right off. It's fine. Today on the show, Skyward Sword Amiibo fucks us all. Starfield release date confuses us. And Timesplitters is randomly announced as being a thing that's not actually dead and it's alive, and they're doing another one apparently. And we'll get to that. Firstly, I just wanted to pimp myself on two other podcasts that aren't Explosion Network podcasts. I know you briefly mentioned it last week, but firstly, brief shout out. I did the Well Played podcast. They did a Resident Evil Village spoiler cast. So I'm on that one. You should go listen to that for all my spoiler-filled thoughts on Resident Evil Village. The link to that will be in the description, of course, as will the link to check out my appearance on Radio Watson, where we did a, with Buddy and Paul James from Player 2 is also the guest on that one. We did a spoiler-filled discussion of Returnal. As much as you can do a spoiler-filled discussion on a game that's light on story and what story there is very confusing, but it's still, it's got spoilers in it.
You did it.
But we did it, you know. So if you want to hear me talk about more in depth about those games and full spoilers, go find them in the links below. So doodly.
Yeah. So if you're wondering where Dylan was last week,
elsewhere. Yeah. Other people's podcasts. Took the week off just to record other people's podcasts. Fuck this place. I had to disappear.
I mean, we've got no other time.
Yeah.
Except when we're recording ours to do other people's podcasts. I
had to try it out. I went around, did some other people's. It was like I walked out of our office and I went around to these office. It's Well Played office. Yeah, let's see what this is like. Oh, it's all right here. And I went over to the Radio Watson building. Oh, it's all right, you know. But ultimately I came back, so.
They're all pretty lackadaisical around here, and there's very small output.
Yeah. Gotta get those numbers up. That's why I came back ultimately. Yeah. All their numbers are too low. And that's what I'm about. You know what I'm about, Ash? Quantity over quality. You know what I'm saying? Quantity over motherfucking quality. That's what we're about here at ExplosionUp.com. All right. Also, this is a little bit odd because I was on last week, but in the previews, I don't really need to talk about it much because I honestly can't remember what I said when I was on here 2 weeks ago talking about it. So I don't know if I don't want to repeat myself too much, but since that time 2 weeks ago where I gave my impressions of Hood, Outlaws, and Legends, I then published my full review where I gave the game a 7, which, scanning the Metacritic and OpenCritics, I seem to be on the higher end of that game.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of there's some scores higher than mine, but I've also seen some that like down near the 4s and 5s and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. I was having fun. I'm playing this other game for a review that I can't talk about, but if I didn't have to feel all these other things I'm going to be doing at the moment, I would be happily playing a few more games here and there. So like it's a weird case where I'm like, I get everyone's complaints and I talk about a lot of the similar complaints in my review, but at the end of the day, I'm like, but it's still fun. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those cases where I'm like, it's a bit janky, but it's fun.
Is it Friday the 13th? Janky fun?
Oh no, it's nowhere near as janky. It's nowhere near as janky as Friday.
But is it more or less fun than that?
It's different. I say because I've been playing this primarily. I played this primarily by myself, even though I've done some sessions with the Well Played crew. But I have primarily done a lot of it by myself.
Yeah.
Whereas Friday the 13th, I couldn't have seen myself playing much of that by myself. That was 100% it was only fun with friends type of scenario. So, whereas I could get into this by myself and have a good old time, you know. So, anyway, if you want to read my full review for that, ExplosionNetwork.com, 7 out of 10. Let's get into some news. Firstly, what the hell is happening with Warner Brothers games? So, if you want to go hear our thoughts on what's happening in this same story in the movie and TV section, go listen to this week's episode of past
What do you
week's
wanna watch?
episode of What Do You Want to Watch. But Push Square
Just
writes,
pimping everything.
yeah, our podcast, our first podcast, you know. You can say I'm a real friend of the podcast community here in Australia, and definitely not a negative influence on it.
Hater?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
yeah, definitely not a negative influence if you're so supportive of so many other outlets. You know.
Push Square writes, Warner Bros. Gaming division will be broken up as part of merger. The future of Warner Bros. Gaming division will be plunged into uncertainty once more as AT&T is unloading its media business as part of a $43 billion merger with cable company Discovery. The arrangement is complicated and won't be completed until mid-2022, should shareholders agree, but it will effectively see the establishment of an entirely new organization overseen by both AT&T and Discovery shareholders, which is being billed as, quote, one of the largest global streaming players, end quote. Of course, our interest begins and ends with Warner Bros. Interactive, the gaming division of Warner Media, and its future remains unclear. Quote, some of the gaming arm will stay with AT&T and some will go with the new company, end quote, said a spokesperson told Axios. At the time, it's unclear who will retain ownership of who, but it's likely to cause some serious headaches. AT&T has attempted to sell off its games publishing arm entirely last year, but eventually decided to keep it in-house as it couldn't find a buyer willing to pay its asking price. So exactly what this means for teams like NetherRealm Studios, Rocksteady, TT Games, Avalanche Software is still up in the air. Warner Bros.' biggest intellectual property like DC Comics will transition ownership to the new company formed by AT&T and Discovery. So it makes sense that titles like Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will remain under that umbrella. So I think this is it's like everything else, as we talked about in What Do You Watch, about like the movie and TV side stuff, that stuff all seems like possibly a positive sort of stuff. But given how they've sort of treated the gaming division in the past, I don't hold out the same sort of hope or treatment for the games /side of what's going on here. Like, I feel like if any segment is going to get fucked in this transition of ownership and this sort of stuff, it could potentially be the game stuff. Like, what's your takeaway?
I don't understand why AT&T would want to hold on to any of the game stuff. If they've got no interest in that kind of stuff, like any media kind of thing, why would they keep it as part of their catalog of things? I don't know whatever the correct term is. Yeah, it just seems odd to keep something that they only months ago were looking to sell off, when you could just spin it off into this new thing, which they have a lot of money invested in, and add more value to that. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No.
Especially when all these studios are mainly working on DC content, which is one of the major properties that will go into the Warner Media Discovery, whatever, conglomerate thing. So, yeah, it's an odd... Because it looks, as far as we can tell, that they'll go back to just being a telecommunications internet provider.
Yeah.
Primarily.
By
They're
sounds of it.
sort of getting out of all media completely.
Which,
So why keep the video game stuff?
it's actually one of those funny things where over the years, all these companies have been trying to, start juggling more balls, and now AT&T's like, you know what? Let's just focus on one thing, one or two things, instead of trying to do everything, it's like when you think of WB Interactive, it's like, what do you think of? DC games and what? Lego?
DC, Lego, and Mortal Kombat.
Yep. I'd say that's definitely in the top three. So, and where do all those belong?
With Warner.
With Warner. Yeah. So, hopefully the right decision happens there. Is what we'll
Hopefully, yeah. It's an odd one. Why would you split them? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Press start right.
And then if it does go with all the Warner Media stuff, you'd hope that, they'd be safe for a while. No speculation for the next couple of years. If it's, they can be nice and settled and...
Look, I just want Rocksteady's game to release. because I feel like I haven't seen a game from Rocksteady in a very long time, and that's because I haven't seen a game from Rocksteady in a very long time.
Not since Arkham Knight. No, since Batman VR.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. But I mean, a proper game, you could get away with saying Arkham Knight. Like a full game, like a fully fledged a title. Yeah. Press start rights of Zelda Skyward Sword HD Amiibo has been announced and brings a fairly big improvement to the game. So it's coming out July 16th. Nintendo has announced the Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo, which is set to launch on the same day as the game. And weirdly enough, a fairly big quality of life improvement seems to be locked behind the Amiibo. Skyward Sword obviously takes place in the air and on the ground. You'll be able to travel to the surface from the sky in specific parts of the game, where the Amiibo will allow you to go right back to where you were in the sky from any point just by using the Amiibo. You can then use the Amiibo again in the sky to return to where you were on the surface. This will even work in dungeons and within buildings in the sky. So this is all kinds of fucked, in my opinion. To put it simply, this is a this is a remaster of a game, and this is a feature that sounds like something that just should be in a remaster of a game because it improves one of the criticisms people had about the original, and so you include it in the remaster so people enjoy game more? No, let's put it in an Amiibo. Good job, Nintendo. And people are going to buy it. People are going to buy it, and I'll have a great old time.
I mean, maybe Nintendo's realizing that maybe we need to make stuff that utilizes, give people a reason to buy these Amiibos rather than just being collectible.
No, they don't, because people buy them just for collectibles. I can guarantee more people buy Amiibos just as collectibles than would ever, no matter what features they put in the Amiibos.
Yeah, but now you're going to sell more Amiibos because you need to play it. It helps improve the game. Or you're rewarding the people who currently buy Amiibos and use Amiibos.
This is stupid. This is my. You gotta tell me this isn't stupid.
It's not stupid.
This is something that should just be in the game. Not. This is literally.
Is this a feature that was originally in the game?
No.
Then it's fine.
No, that's why it's not fine, because
this is additional DLC.
It's literally paywalling content behind a fucking statue of a bird.
No, it's not. It's putting fast travel behind a paywall, I guess. I got no problem with that. If they decided to do that.
It's putting fast travel behind paywall. Full stop. Behind
a $20 paywall where you get a $30. $30 collectible. Well, you could probably get.
I think it's like $35 actually. Some of these more premium ones, they charge in a pretty penny, Does it have a link on this thing here?
No.
But that's
$35.
There you go. See, $35. $35 to fast travel in this game.
Well, the option was you just don't get to fast travel ever, so they could have not put it in the game.
This is dumb.
At all.
I hate this. I read this news, and I was instantly angry the morning I read it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this news, Ash. This is dumb. This is everything that's wrong with Amiibos. Not that there's much wrong with them, but this is definitely a case of here's a dumb decision. Because for the most part, Amiibos do kind of nifty things that
they do nothing.
No, a lot of them
they're pointless.
You don't own them.
Give them a purpose.
Let's look one up. Let's see. What was the last big Nintendo game? Monster Hunter, right? See, I own one. Yep. I don't even know what it does. I don't even care. Let's see what they do. Let's see. Let's see if it says here on this website. What country am I in? Australia. All right, good job. This is the Amiibo for a monster, and this Amiibo can be used to get a special layered armor in Monster Hunter Rise. In addition, you can scan this Amiibo. That's bullshit.
You get a cool armor just for using an Amiibo? Is there any other way to get this little armor?
I don't know. In addition, you can scan this amiibo once a day to receive a lottery ticket in Monster Hunter Rise that can be exchanged for a random item in the game. And this shit's gambling now.
Yeah. We've poked the terrible underbelly of amiibos.
It's pretty cool looking armor. But I don't mind this. Like,
Can't believe that armor's so armor's $35, that's fine.
Well, no, because you get the amiibo.
A cool feature in the game, not fine.
No, because the
shortcut in the game,
just be in the game.
Not fun.
Fast travel should just be in that feature should just be part of the game. It should be part of the game.
But it wasn't part of the original game.
No, it's a remaster, Ash. I don't know if you know. Like, it's a remaster. And currently I'm wondering what's so fucking remastered and changed. Unless they're going to announce more amiibos where all the things are changing for the game and to make it more interesting and better, they're putting in fucking amiibos. And if you don't buy the amiibos, you're like, well, it feels like I'm playing a Wii U game. And they're like,
you are.
Because you fucking are, unless you buy the amiibos. Is this what we're doing? Get the fuck out of here. I want to hear this shit. That's trash.
It's a secret toys.
You're wrong.
It's a secret toys or whatever it's called game. Remember that genre? Toys to life. Like the Skylanders and stuff.
Yeah, but I like those, I like Disney Infinity.
But this is just a secret one of those.
I was sad when Disney Infinity died. Disney Infinity was my 100th platinum, in case you didn't know. I'll line that up. Made sure I could get a Star Wars game as my 100th platinum, you know? Like, technically a Star Wars game. Kinda a Star Wars game. Okay. I think I own them all somewhere. Like, I've still got all these.
Disney, I'm pretty sure Disney Infinity came out before they bought Star Wars.
I actually don't even know, eh? The first one, maybe. But this is the third one. There was 3.
There was 3 Disney Infinities?
Yeah. Come on.
No.
Yeah. Does it
3.0?
Yeah, 3.0.
There wasn't a. Was there a platinum for each 0.0?
No. I never played I never played 2 or whatever. Or 1. Oh, no, maybe I did play 1.
2.0.
I definitely didn't play 2, though. But 2 was all Marvel, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so 2 was 2 Disney Infinity 2.0 focused on Marvel characters. Disney Infinity 1.0 was focused on Disney characters. And Disney Infinity 3.0 focused on Star Wars characters. Came at 2015. So this would have been after they announced buying them, right? Surely. When did Disney?
Yeah, there was a platinum for each 0.0.
Damn, there you go. Star Wars. So this is after they brought them. Yeah, after the whole field tied it in with the Force Awakens, everything like that. Yeah, it was real good. There's a lot of characters. Let's have a look at the characters here. Side tangent. Let me list all the characters you could get in Disney Infinity 3.0. And these figures were good looking. Star Wars, Clone Wars characters. Anakin, Ahsoka in the starter bundle. Yeah, boy. Yoda, Obi-Wan, Darth Maul. Fuck yeah. Then you had the original trilogy DLC pack thing. Luke, Leia, Boba, Han, Chewbacca, Darth Vader. You had a Force Awakens pack. Finn, Rey, Poe, Kylo. You had a Rebels pack, Ezra, Kanan, Sabine, Zeb. And then they did some Disney actual stuff. And the last one they never actually released. So they did all the Inside Out characters. They did expansion to MCU. They did Hulk, Buster, Iron Man. I've got that one. Ultron, Black Suit Spider-Man. I've got that one. Captain America, First Avenger. Got that. Ant-Man. Got that. Vision. Didn't get that, I think. Black Panther. I got that one. Fucking sick one. Finding Dory. Nemo Dory. I think that was the last one I got. They did a Tron Legacy thing. They were cool. Remember that movie? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? They had a Quora figure.
It's coming back, right?
Come back. They did a Mulan figure. They did a Olaf figure, but that was the only one. They did The Good Dinosaur. Didn't get that one. They did a Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde from Zootopia. I got those, of course. You know, love me some Zootopia. They did a Baloo from the Jungle Book. I got that one as well, I believe. And then the last ones were Alice Through the Looking Glass. But I don't think I got those. And then there was a bunch of unreleased ones.
And that's what killed.
The next set that was supposed to come out when they cancelled it was, and apparently they had all the figures done. I remember reading it was supposed to be for Rogue One. They had like a Gina Erso. Like I remember seeing pictures and stuff like Gina Erso and all this sort of stuff. And they cancelled it. It was a sad day in my life, Ash. Okay, Sad day.
There's potentially a box
Somewhere.
so
Find them on
Disney
eBay.
Infinity figures buried in the desert. That's what they do with all of them, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I never got a chance to get a adult Ahsoka figure though, because I only did the Clone Wars Ahsoka, but I never got a chance to do a Rebels Ahsoka. So it's just
another 5 years and it'll get rebooted.
Maybe all things come around again, I guess. I mean, I had a friend who was really into Skylanders as well, like a person my age. When Skylanders,
my little brother was obsessed with Skylanders.
Yeah, your little brother. I'm saying someone my age was obsessed with Skylanders.
Yeah,
because like he told me one day, "Hey, I'm in Skylanders or whatever." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" He had all the figures. He was leveling them up and shit.
I'm a hardcore Spyro fan. I want Spyro and all his friends.
There was one Spyro figure. Shit, didn't even look anything like Spyro.
Every time.
And then
every game there was a Spyro figure.
Was it? Okay. I didn't know. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a time.
I think.
When all those Toys of Life games were things. Yeah, that was time.
So yeah, Nintendo, bring it back. Except it's features, not...
Don't lock fast travel behind Amiibos.
It's fine.
It's not fine. Next story. Kotaku. I include this one because it was Australian and kind of cool. So they wrote, Phantom Abyss is an Aussie-made race to steal a temple's treasure. It's the idea of racing... Sorry. Let me start again. I'm so sorry, Alex Walker. I fucked you so hard here. If the idea of racing other Indiana Jones types for a temple to be the only one to grab a priceless relic sounds appealing, then Phantom Abyss might be right up your alley. Due out in early access this June, Phantom Abyss is made by Team Wibby or WIBY in Brisbane. It asks players to run through procedurally generated temples, all of which have multiple levels. As you run through the levels, you'll see the ghosts of up to 20 other players as they run through the level. As you run through, you'll come across the relics that give you buffs for the rest of your temple run. You'll need those buffs because you only get one run per level. You'll also come across cursed whips, which function a little like parasites from Returnal. The whole point of the exercise is to claim the one legendary relic that rests at the heart of each temple. Collect that, and the temple is then locked out forever, never to be run through again. So in case you didn't get the memo, that means you can be the only person in the world to get the golden chalice from a temple that other people were trying to beat. And then they don't get to try and win it again. You lock it away forever. It's yours for good. So this is a first-person game. So it's like and if you look at the gameplay, which I'm going to bring up in the video version right now, it is literally like it is when they start whipping and climbing on things, you're like, man, this is definitely like 100% Indiana Jones inspired for sure. I've seen a bunch of influencers got early access, at least for a short period today or yesterday, whenever it was. I saw some videos of that sort of stuff, and it looks like it could be obviously super frustrating, but also a lot of fun. You know, I guess maybe it won't be super frustrating because everyone's dying, and like most people aren't gonna beat the game. So I guess it might not be super frustrating that way. But yeah, what do you think of this? It's from your home turf.
Yeah, from my home turf. So yeah, number one game on the Steam wish list. It looks interesting. It wasn't what I thought at first. I thought it's going to be like some sort of race game, like I don't know, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. You're all racing at the same time, trying to get to.
No, the race is just to win it. You're not actually racing. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a time-based thing, but no, it looks like you're still racing other people to get to it, but it's like a wider... You're racing every other person in the world to beat this one temple.
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
So, I think the ghost kind of threw me off, but that's... I mean, it's a cool, helpful thing.
Well, I think they need them to be.
I thought it was like more of a multiplayer game. Than
I think it's a good decision because if you look at the gameplay up that's right now, imagine these other people who are ghosts on the screen being people that could actually grief you, like, you know, people that would try and fuck with you. That's the number one reason you couldn't actually have it be real people that you could actually bump into and that sort of stuff. Then that would kind of ruin the game, I think. You know, like in Fall Guys, where people are like holding you back and this sort of shit. So, yeah, no thanks. But yeah, I'm super keen. Early access, June.
Yeah. Listen, hopefully you can customize your little your character.
Your whip?
So
person. Okay.
So when you see the ghost running around, you can tell. Oh, that's him. That's Ashley. A massive sombrero for some reason.
I was gonna say, and they probably won't have this at launch of the early access, but it'd be really cool by full release if they let you do a private race.
server.
Yeah, like you know,
like
it's just you and your friends.
All of us try and stream it at the same time.
Yes, because then we could be like, it's just us trying to, and we could only have it so it's just us, and then trying to beat the one temple. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. And not have some other guy beat us, like a random person. You know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I guess you could still technically do that as long as you can all get into the same temple.
Yeah. What? Yeah. That's what
it's just you run the risk of someone random on the other side of the world beating you.
Yeah. And
like halfway through the run,
and they might even not let you get into the same queue. I don't know how. Whereas if you could do a private one, where it's like, I just want to verse these people. Yeah. I don't see how that would
you
break.
Can customize the temple.
Yeah, maybe.
Like you could say it's only however long. Yeah. So many different types of traps and shit. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a lot of potential, and it's a cool idea.
Yeah, looks fun. Being published by Devolver Digital, by the way. Is the other.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big get.
Yeah. Shout out to Brizzy.
Brizzy, Team Wibby. Will it be you? That's what it means.
It will be. If by me they mean will I play their game, because I will be. Will I win it? Probably not. Starfield, right. So, Eurogamer writes, Starfield launches late 2022, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. Schreier tweeted to say Bethesda plans to tease this release date at E3 next month. Bethesda announced Starfield at E3 2018, calling the game its next-generation first-person sci-fi RPG. The initial reveal showed us a ship unfurl itself in space via a very brief teaser trailer before it warped out of existence. Since then, Microsoft brought Bethesda, so expect Starfield to show up on PC and Xbox Series X and S, but not PlayStation 5. Also, to add to this story, Jeff Grubb was getting yelled at on the internet, which was somewhat entertaining / just a typical gamer bullshit.
Yeah.
Because at one stage, he said, hey, I think it's coming this year. And then a couple of weeks passed, and he clarified and said, actually, I don't trust who I heard the information from now, so I'm trying to retract that, and I'm going to say that it's going to release. It's more likely going to release in 2022 now. And everyone said, you fucking liar. And it was like this whole thing.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. He said his source turned out to be unreliable. So his source lied to him.
Yeah. I don't think people understand how
journalism works.
Yeah. Like, it's not like he walked into Xbox and said, Wanda, tell me when Starfield's coming out. And they were like, this year. And he walked out and told the internet. And then Xbox rang up and said, actually, we're in 2022. And like, you motherfucker, Jeff Grubb. Yeah. So how do you feel about 2022? Does that seem even that? Because you know it's a year away. Because you're not going to play.
Don't care.
No PS5. Not going to play
PS5, right? Yeah.
Well, how are you feeling about that?
No, I mean it's cool. I mean, I think Xbox probably needed to be sooner. I think Xbox definitely needed like something out of their game, their first party to compete with PlayStation, and they're not going to have anything. It looks like nothing big until 2022, unless Halo miraculously comes out this year. They've really got nothing to compete against. Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Forbidden West, and potentially God of War. That one's less likely, but still, those two plus Deathloop, which we've seen previews of this week, which sounds fantastic. You know, it's like, what's Xbox got?
Bethesda.
You got Game Pass. It's got the potential of these games that, you know. But yeah, when did they announce Starfield? I feel like it's
2018.
Yeah, so 4 years. That seems a reasonable
from announcement. Who knows how long they were? It was long rumored before they. It was already long rumored, and the story goes that it's been in development since the same time as Fallout 4. Goes the narrative, and obviously that if that is true, it means that they had a small team working on it at the same time as Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And probably kicking around ideas and stuff, but that's apparently how long it's been developed. And yeah, I buy this. I think this all makes sense. I think we always knew this was going to come before fucking Elder Scrolls 6 and all this other shit. So
yeah.
And the other positive, I guess, the other good thing about Microsoft and Bethesda sharing a stage instead of having to split is that they can kind of put together Bethesda can focus and put together a nice looking showcase of Starfield if they want, and not have to worry about stretching out stuff to get a full hour showcase. You know, like if they're doing their own show, now they can just polish up.
We don't need to have 23 musical performances.
Yeah. So it kind of helps it there with Microsoft now. And it helps Microsoft as well. You know, it's like...
It just means less press conferences, though, which is... Yeah.
But Xbox may go for 10 hours now, so...
Maybe.
Possible. All right, last news story for the week. Timesplitters fans rejoice. Work on a new game to begin in the coming months, writes Nintendo Life. Publisher Deep Silver has announced the return of Free Radical Design, which will be responsible for reviving the much-loved Timesplitters IP. Developer will be made up of a key member of the original Free Radical team, including the founders and former Rareware employees, Steve Ellis and David Doak. Free Radical Design will begin development of the next entry of Timesplitters in the coming months, and positions will be advertised in due course. The new UK studio will be located in Nottingham area. So this was a weird Twitter announcement where Deep Silver's like, hey, Timesplitters is back. Haven't started yet. Bringing the old team back though.
We're doing it.
They're back.
We got nothing. We don't even have a studio together, but
we're getting the guys back, you know. The band back together. And the game's coming. We're gonna make it. So we just thought we'd announce.
We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But we're doing it.
Now, how do you feel about this? Because I know what Timesplitters is, but I've never played Timesplitters. I don't, so.
Timesplitters 3 is like one of those classic PS3 games, or PS2 games that, you know, somehow you missed. I don't understand, but yeah. It's a fantastic game as a solo game, but me and brothers would play like the multiplayer consistently, the closest thing to a GoldenEye type game since GoldenEye came out. So, I'm pretty keen to see what they do. You know, it's got an interesting story. Obviously, you could jump around with all through time and history and that kind of stuff. So it's crazy to think what they could do 15, I want to say, years later. With all the technology now. It's interesting because I felt like I saw a Timesplitters post recently from THQ where they were telling people we're not making a THQ game, a Timesplitters games because we actually don't own the IP.
Yeah, I was trying to work.
You just assume that everybody has. You just assume that all THQ has all the old IPs.
Yeah,
but no.
Well, I was trying to look into that, and it seems that it may have passed through them at some point, or
they sold it. They sold it off for something else. Like traded it.
I don't know
in the backyard, like trading cards.
Well, THQ, when you've got as many franchises as THQ does, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's like, we got duplicates.
I wouldn't be surprised now since they're only just announcing development of this, and then maybe they wanted to do that to also see the reaction to like sort of test the waters, because then maybe as they get to work on a new game, they'll set a B team on remasters or something like that of the trilogy, I guess, as easy money.
Or just
potentially.
a version that can play on consoles, even if
I don't mean like a Crash Bandicoot like remake. I mean just a remaster. I mean like
just like Star Wars.
Like
Jedi
those,
Knight.
like those. Yeah, just polish it up a little bit, make it run on consoles.
Get the trophy list. That's it.
Add trophy. Yeah. Maybe they could add the multiplayer component in and make that work.
Yeah. I mean, because it's obviously back in those days, you could add bots, that kind of stuff. So that obviously adds a bit to an easy way for you to get
is that out
extra
of
players?
Because with that last, I know I'm trying to remember the team name. I can't remember the people who do all those Star Wars games. They did add multiplayer into the last one they put out, Outcast or whatever. I think it was Outcast. Star Wars Outcast. Yeah, whatever. That one's got multiplayer. They turn multiplayer on for that. So. And they usually don't for those old games. They usually just go, it's just the single player. But no, they added it. People have been playing it apparently. So how long it stays on?
Crazy. How does the multiplayer work in that?
Well, they would have had to rework it all,
No, but what is the actual? Is it like shooter or is it?
I haven't played the game, so I'm pretty sure it's just third person arena shooter. I think Star Wars arena shooter type thing. I think something like that. Let's see. Star Wars. Is it Outcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Jedi Outcast. Multiplayer. PS4. Was it this one? I can't find my answer quick enough.
Was it?
Don't know. But it was one of the ones recently, so they didn't do it for. I can't remember. They didn't. Was
there multiplayer in pod races?
No, I was about to say there's some games where I wish they'd added multiplayer that could have been.
That seems like the most obvious one.
Yeah, there's somewhere I'm like you could have added multiplayer for a bit of fun and gold, but that's fine. That's it in the news. There wasn't really much this week. I will point out that
nothing from any big games that anybody cares about at all. There
was some Overwatch news. That's pretty big, but
they finally bring in the Battleborn characters like I want.
Obviously, if you can hear Ash right now, there's a reason that we're not really talking about it. It is interesting though.
They're reducing the number of characters in the matches, right?
They're removing it from.
It's like shit. We've got so many bad characters. We need to reduce the number of players down so people don't have to play with the bad ones.
Well, I have seen some interesting stories where like pro players are like, I'm fearing for my job now because like, I mean, it sounds ridiculous
because they're reducing the number of tanks players by half.
Yes,
it's like. So it's 50% of tank jobs cut.
Yes. Like, it sounds ridiculous, and for people who don't follow esports, I guess it's just sort of this laughable concept. But it is like a real worry, I guess, potentially. Like, it's just something you don't think about. Like, what happens if, like, what if, like, any of these games, like League of Legends or anything in these big sort of esports type games, what happens if they remove a character role? Then there's one less player needed for a team. That's one less person who gets paid to play the game professionally. Like it's just, it is interesting. Like as seeing people discuss it.
I mean, it's kind of like a sports thing. It's sometimes legal introduce like squad caps and that kind of thing, and there'll only be a certain amount of players you're allowed in the squad. So somebody's going to miss out, even though there's so many.
But they still pay. Do they still play? Do the team still pay for?
No, because they'll get cut, so they're not part of the team anymore.
Not even bench warmers?
They'll be part of the squad.
Okay.
Like, the number of players you can have contracted, but... Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know for Overwatch, obviously, but I know, like, League lets you have one... I think it's one... bench warmer, whatever. Substitute. Like a sub... Yeah, a sub, so... I don't know. Yeah. But it is.
If they increase that and then reduced it, there would be like a whole bunch of players like out of work.
Yes.
Potentially, yeah.
So there is some interesting stuff there, even if you don't care about Overwatch, which we don't. We don't play Overwatch, but even without playing Overwatch, I did think it was interesting, just from the job aspect of it and all that sort of stuff. I was like, this is just one of those things you just don't think about. So yeah, maybe you can talk about it next week when he's on the show. Get his opinions if
he's on the show.
Yeah, if he's on the show, if he wants to be.
Is Overwatch 2 going to come out?
No, it's not. They said it's cancelled now. That was the other thing.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. I couldn't keep up.
So not listening that
they were like, it's a thing. It's not a thing. It's a thing. I honestly can't even keep up.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just an update to the original game.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, it's bloody confusing as well. It's dumb.
It's
fucking
what are you
dumb.
doing over there, Blizzard?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, to be honest. So.
They're just so committed to like Call of Duty games and World of Warcraft updates.
World of Warcraft
everything else is
remakes, Warcraft remakes, remasters.
Yeah, everything else doesn't matter.
Sure. Also, shout out to the Final Fantasy Online event that was on over the weekend. It was a fucking amazing thing to like skim through and watch. It was just an absolute. You know how you watch these events they do in Japan sometime? You go, this is a very Japan event, right?
Yeah.
Like this sort of just like randomness sort of stuff. And how they like would announce a game thing, and then without even like a beat of like understanding how ridiculous it is in the concept, they're like, here's what's happening in patch 5.5. Also, we're releasing this real life guitar you can buy. It's just, you know what I mean? Like just the way they...
Yeah. It was interesting to watch that online, like over social media, and see people who have never played get super excited about it.
Online? 14 online or whatever?
14, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've...
we attempted.
I mean, I've had it downloaded several times. I just never have the time. I've tried it out on PC back in the day. I just always have it...
Before or after it?
Before.
Before or after it was reborn?
Before Reborn. I tried it out at original release.
When it was born. You played it when it was born.
Yeah. I don't believe I've tried it out since a couple years ago.
You haven't played...
I haven't played Realm Reborn. Is the official title you're talking about? But no, somewhat interested a lot more lately because they've been like building to the end of the storyline where you could like sort of jump in. But I'm also like, I don't have time to play an MMO. What the fuck am I talking about? You know, like it ain't gonna happen.
But maybe.
Possibly. I had it downloaded on
You could be bribes. You did get...
That's not bribe.
You got sent merch.
True. That was a wink for audio listeners.
It was several winks.
I'll do it for this week's episode.
You sure? Yes. You sure this is the end?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel like that's a good place to end it. You can let us know any comments, questions, or concerns you have, including about my winks, by joining or tweeting at us. You can tweet at us by heading to explosionarc.com/Twitter. You can join our Discord, explosionarc.com/Discord. If you liked the episode, thought it was worth $1, or you would like to know other ways to support us, head on over to explosionarc.com/support us. You can drop a little $1. You can buy a t-shirt. You can do whatever you'd like. It's great. We appreciate it. And until next week, same time, same couch. Bye.
What if somebody actually did email in with serious concern about your winks? It's like, you need to see a doctor. There's something wrong with your winks.
I'd appreciate the email, you know.
It's a sign of...
I'll just appreciate it. Just appreciate it. Just appreciate the email.
Thank God we made that joke.
Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.